Hi, today's video is not at all what I had anticipated. I'm a planner, creator, thinker, doer, so I like to have a system in place that really serves those characteristics of mine. I also rely very heavily on inspiration and, of course, your input depending on what it is that you're looking for and if I can somehow serve as a guide in that way. But let's just say sometimes the unexpected happens. Life's emergencies can pop up, things get out of order, or we find ourselves overscheduled. For instance, for me, on Monday, Oscar had to go into the animal hospital. Now, don't worry, but at the time he was in pain. He was acting a little bit odd. I thought, in fact, he had ingested something, so I rush him over there. Well, about half a day and $500 later, the vet tells me that he injured his neck, probably horsing around with some other dogs, and he got some pain pills prescribed, and that was that. And then on Tuesday, when I usually shoot my videos, I had a 2-hour Zoom conference on a really big project that I'm working on. It's very, very exciting that I'll be able to talk about later, but I could also feel time just slipping away. So then I'm scrolling through my YouTube feed, trying to think, okay, what haven't I done lately? What type of a subject haven't I touched upon for a video? Then I'm scrolling through the comments section, looking for direction. Again, more time just sort of ticking away and feeling an intense amount of pressure to perform. I've got performance anxiety. But have you ever felt that way? I mean, just feeling really overextended. Maybe your intensity involves a completely different scenario than what I just listed. You've got other demands that are playing out. But nonetheless, you're juggling multiple balls. And I like to think of some of them as being plastic and some of them are glass, carrying a little bit more weight and value. And you're worried that if they fall, either they or you might break. How many times have you ever just wanted to say, no, I can't. I cannot do this one more thing today. I know I don't want to overextend myself. No, I need some space. And how many times have we overridden those no's with yeses, only to feel completely mowed over, weak, and then allowing our people-pleasing nature to just take over? I will admit, no's are really hard for me. I like being there to help. I like making people feel special. I like producing unique content for you. I like to work. I like to be present for those who matter to me. But what about me? What about you? What is the price tag for all of our yeses? So I'll tell you what, it's really feeling like you're drowning, you're suffocating, or you're simply exhausted. So I kind of sat with myself like this. And I said, self, what is the worst thing that could happen if you did not produce a video this week? What's the worst thing that could happen? Would your community understand? Or would they make you feel badly for not being there and kind of delivering your usual shtick? Well, of course, I know what the answer to that is, but then it hit me like this great epiphany. This is part of my shtick. This is part of my overall message about self-care. And so I thought, okay, I can do this. I can shoot the quickest, easiest, least time-consuming video and simply share with you my feelings on the power of saying no. And we all struggle here. I am no different from you. And you may be thinking, all right, well, wait a second, Missy. You produced a video, so you really didn't say no. But to me, sitting here and talking with a camera rolling is kind of like having a conversation with a friend as opposed to coming up with well-produced content. It's kind of a cakewalk in comparison, and I really, really like these chats. So let's just say that shooting this video is really no skin off of my back, and I think it's a subject that really needs to be discussed because I keep hearing about intense burnout. So when I think of saying no and the feelings that conjures, I think it takes us to that negative place of feeling selfish. I'm putting me before your needs. Most of us have been taught from a young age, don't be selfish, give to others first. But as I've said before, how can you be good for anyone or anything if you're not good for you? I'm saying this to myself, by the way. Self-care is not selfish. What do they say in the airplane? Put the oxygen mask on first, before you help others. Yet I think as women, we often push aside that mantra. We put our needs on the back burner, and then we tend to live angry, frustrated, resentful in the process, and frankly, feeling like we're out of air. We can't breathe. So where do we start? And I personally think that our gut, or God, tells us everything. I think that little voice inside that grows louder and louder and louder, it keeps telling us what we all need to know, and we need to listen to it, to honor it. It's there for self-protection and self-preservation, not to live isolated, but to take these moments, these sort of sips, and fuel up to be better for everything that matters to us. But if we keep denying that voice, ignoring it, and pushing it out, then I think we keep denying ourselves and how we feel in our own skin. So it's important to listen and honor that voice. Next, I think it's important to be prepared to kindly articulate to somebody why you had to say no. And I find that people are more understanding when you're honest and transparent, when you just say, look, I'm simply overextended, and as much as I would love to be there for you in that way, I just don't have it in me at the moment. And it's interesting because I find that most people will nod in agreement and they'll say, man, I feel the same way. You know, I wish I could slow it down a bit. So you'll find that you're sort of in this community. But on the flip side, you know, the other person might not be as understanding, or their feelings might get hurt, and they'll try to push you and persuade and weaken you. And I think it's really important in those moments to set firm boundaries so that you and your needs are being treated with respect. I just really believe in coming from a place of kindness instead of unleashing, which is really an easy tendency when we're all strung out, and it can lead to arguing, and that certainly isn't going to ease the tension that you're already feeling. So just speak your truth and speak it kindly and let people know that you need some space. You need to say no. And lastly, I think when you do bow out of something, use that time to take care of yourself. Use that time to take care of yourself. It could be a nap, it could be a walk, it could be reading scripture, you know, whatever that looks like to fill your cup. Because it's only when that cup is full that it will runneth over, and we can then be present in ways that will take us to new levels. So today I said no, and in turn, you gave me a yes, which always comes in the form of your love and your support and your care. And I have this channel because I feel the exact same way about you. And I want you to be your most absolute beautiful self on both the outside and the inside. And if one person just needed to hear this today, and maybe it was me, then it was all worth it, because I think you're worth it. And you are the reason that I'm here. Till next Thursday.